Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Hello. So, I'm going to give you a fair warning on a couple of things real quick. First of all, if you're just joining us, thank you very much. I genuinely can't tell you how much it means to me that more and more people are tuning in and wanting to check out what I have to say, even if it's just a bunch of nonsense, even if it's a bunch of digressing babble. It just means the world to me. It means a lot that more and more people are checking me out. And of course, it means a lot to me to those that have been with me since the very beginning. Thank you very much. I always point this out, and the people that do listen all the time are like, oh my God, we know. Stop saying it. You don't have to say it all the time, Courtney. People can just figure it out. But I like to give the disclaimer that I am by no means some worldly, all-knowledgeable human. I just give my point of view, my opinion. If it's a fact, I will, let you know and try to, give you where I heard it and all of that. But usually I just babble a bunch of nonsense. It could be about politics, family, work, whatever. It's everything that's on my mind. So today, unfortunately, is kind of a buzzkill bummer because I have been bawling hysterically because unfortunately I had to have my best friend in the entire world, my dog, Nora. I had to put her to sleep unexpectedly yesterday. And that was extraordinarily hard for me. As I'm sure many of you are like this, our dogs are not our dogs, they're family. They are part of the family, and we love them like a family member. My dog, Nora, was the first puppy I've ever had, the first female dog I ever had, and she has quite literally been with me through absolutely the most shitty, difficult times of my life. And she has been my ride or die best friend, the most loyal. She's been literally, including my family, including my friends and family, she's been the most loyal, trustworthy, patient one out of anything on this earth to me. And so I am very, very, I'm not doing well. Let's just say that. And right now I'm currently trying to pick up dog poop and get this stupid dog bag, and it's driving me crazy. I swear to God, they need to make a dog bag that actually opens well. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, you guys don't want to be listening to this. You do not want to be listening to the ruffling of a dog bag and the visual of me picking up poop, but that's what you get with this podcast. You come with me on my journey of picking up. Sometimes we're literally picking up shit along the way. Sometimes we're talking shit. Sometimes I'm full of shit. And sometimes I'm picking up literal dog shit. And now I'm putting you on the ground because I'm trying to get doing a podcast and walking dogs are not, it's probably a stupid thing, but I'm in the park. I have to walk because I'm trying to not get over. That's not what I mean at all. I'm not going to get over having to put having to make sure my best friend is no longer suffering. She had congenitive heart failure. And it was very fast. She went from running and playing literally 5 days ago. She was running and playing and just acting fine. I mean, sure, she was sore, but she's also got the Librela shot, and I hadn't given it to her. And I usually give it to her once a month. And I skipped a month because I didn't have the money. And so I thought, oh, she's just slowing down because she's, got arthritis and she's 14, and that's just what happens. And plus we play hard, but it turns out it was because of her heart failing and doing so rapidly. And I didn't know it. And I am really struggling, because, our dogs are our animals are our family. I mean, to most people, not to everybody. And that's fine. I guess if it's not like that, I can't wrap my head around an animal. I mean, I get people that have like working animals, um, like if they are herding animals and they herd sheep and if they're, canine unit and all of that, I understand that, but you're still going to treat them like family. I just meant like, I'm not saying you have to treat them like family as in you don't have to give them like the plushiest dog bed and like all the treats and spend absorbent amount of money, because I don't think you need to do that with family either. I just mean like family as in you don't love them like a dog. You see them as like a member of the family because they're loyal and there for you and they'd protect you. You can tell them all of your secrets. There's therapy. They're just everything. And she was my first puppy and my first female dog. It's not that I tried to stay away from female dogs. I didn't do that on purpose. Well, for one, my parents usually picked out the dog when I was a kid. But when I got older, I don't know. I always had male dogs. Again, not on purpose. And so she was my first female. God, I had to put you down on a rock and tie this dumb poop bag here. This was a very bad idea, trying to do a podcast while I am cleaning up poop and these guys are walking all crazy. See, we need Nora. Nora was our third dog and she kept us all in line. Now she's up in heaven, bossing everyone around like she wants. And my son's dog, Charlie, we had to unfortunately put him to sleep several months ago. And we were teasing that now she gets to go and boss him around because that was her favorite thing to do, was to boss my son's dog around. And, it's just, you should never have to lose a dog. They should just live forever. Dogs should just live forever because they're fucking amazing. Animals are just so much better than humans. They really are. I know that's morbid and shitty, and humans are good. Humans are good. Right now, humans are messed up. Right now, we're going through a lot, and it's making me bummed out. I miss the days when we were united, when we had someone that we were all uniting together to combat, and those are not the days. It just seems like it's just so much. And I consider myself an empathetic person. I consider myself an empath. And I know everybody does, it seems like. But they say when you've gone through a lot of trauma, you tend to be an empath. I don't know, tomato, empath. However you want to say it. I've said both. I don't know which one I like. I don't know which one it is. Is it tomato kind of thing? Is it empath or empath? Or is it does it have to be empath or empath? I don't know. Anyway, regardless, you guys know what I'm saying. I know it sounds like crazy nonsense to say that, oh, I'm an empath. Like it seems like everyone says that, but there's a lot of people who've gone through some shit. And it just means that you are hyper aware of people's moods and aware of their energy, because usually if you've gone through trauma, you have to be highly observant. I've talked about this in a million podcasts. You have to be very aware of your surroundings, and you have to be aware of if it's an abuser or if it's just trauma that you've gone through, you pay attention to the person, you pay attention to their tones of voice, to their body language. You pay attention to if their words match their actions, if their actions match their words. You pay attention to how they act after work, how they act before work. What are their habits? What do they drink? What do they wear? What is their mannerisms? You just become ultra aware of the room, everything. And so it makes sense, because an empath is basically just a very sensitive person to people's emotions and energy, because you kind of have to be, again, if you are from a background of any type of abuse, emotional, physical, mental, what have you, or if you've seen a lot of abuse, you've been around of a lot of violence, whatever your trauma is, sexual abuse, you just start to really be aware of your surroundings. So I talk about it a lot, and I don't even know where I was going with that. See, again, this is what you get with my podcast. I get sidetracked because I ramble on so frickin' much that I don't even remember what the hell I was saying. Plus, I'm exhausted. Again, insomnia, ramblings of an insomniac. It is true. I do have insomnia. Very bad. I sleep 3 to 4 hours. Again, I think it has a lot to do with my background and just my current situation and things going on in my life now. It just seems to kind of always be a shit show. And some of it is self-caused. I have talked about that. Like there are things that I have not made good choices on and still haven't made good choices on. So it's kind of like in some areas, I've made my bed and I'm lying in it. And then other areas, it was not me at all. It's just my life has always kind of been like the Stanley Yelnats kind of thing. I feel like I need to go carry a pig up a mountain or something. But I'm not complaining. I'm not, because I have it better than a lot of other people. But again, I've said this a million times, just because someone is having a bad day, and if someone says they have a pretty messed up life, and then I hate those people that are like, well, it could be worse. So-and-so has it worse. There are starving children in Ethiopia. Yes, and I feel awful for anybody starving, not just Ethiopia, but anybody that's starving. I feel horrible for those that have it worse. But that doesn't mean that I can't be sad that my dog died. Doesn't mean that I can't be sad that the things that did happen to me were really fucked up. I've had a very fucked up childhood and life, but I've also had an amazing life. I've also had a lot of amazing things, and I've had a lot of amazing friends and people around me too. I've had both. And yes, there are certainly people who have had it far worse than I have. And I feel awful for those people. I genuinely do. And I try to care for those type of people. But that doesn't mean that, I can't be sad that my dog died. And people tend to say that. They try to be like, well, it could be worse. And I know maybe they're meaning well, and I know they're not trying to say it rude, just like when someone goes, oh, it must be nice to be skinny. I know they're meaning it as a well, I don't think they're actually meaning it as a compliment, really. I think they're meaning it snarky, and they're disguising it as a compliment. It's like a backhanded compliment. So that's not a good example, but I don't know. I do know that I tried to start a podcast yesterday. And I was in a good mood. This was before, by the way, or not yesterday. This was 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago, because it was before my dog passed. I was all like, had this flow going. I felt that I made great content. I felt that it was on point. I didn't digress. I stuck to the point. I was just flowing, I loved it. And I was like, yeah, that was a great podcast. I think that will be received well. And people will be like, yeah, do that again, Courtney. Woo! And because I do this, again, for those that don't know, I am an idiot and I do things on my phone. I don't go do this in a studio or anything. So because of that, you hear things like my poop bag and cars in the background and, all kinds of shit that you probably don't want to listen to, Or if you're listening to it more than once, then I guess it doesn't bug you too bad. But excuse me. So I was all excited and I was like, yeah, this is great. Best podcast yet. Emmy Award winning, Oscar nominated. Just kidding. Just joking. But I was feeling confident. And I looked down and somehow I had paused. Somehow I had paused it like 3 seconds into my podcast. And I was like, son of a biatch. I was so upset. And you can't just like do a podcast over, because once you've like done it, it was authentic, it was genuine, it was, it wasn't planned and it flowed. And when you try to duplicate it, as we all know from a lot of sequels, there are some good sequels. There definitely are some good sequels, but we all know they're few and far between. So when you try to, retweet, I was like, this is not, I feel like I'm trying. I feel like I'm trying to copy, and I was trying to like at least stay with the same topic and stuff that I discussed, but it just didn't go well. It was so I keep looking down today like 100 times. Okay, are we paused? No. Are we paused? No. I look like a crackhead, just constantly looking down, like my eyes twitching, People that can't see what I'm doing are like, why is that girl just keep looking down randomly? Poor thing. Poor thing. She's crazy, which is true. I am. Uh-oh. I have to go get poop bags. Wait, nobody poop. I don't have a poop bag. We got to go get poop bags. Oh, Lord. Come on, guys. Let's go get poop bags. Come on, guys. Let's go get a poop bag. Anyway, so I'm really bummed because I was sitting down by the river because it was a beautiful day and I was all feeling it. And I was on the topic of Cinco de Mayo and people saying that if you're for Trump and deportation, then you're not allowed to eat at a Mexican restaurant. And I'm like, here's the deal. I'm pretty certain, number one, that people that own a restaurant are not going to want you to deter them from eating there because restaurants are very difficult to make money. And I'm pretty sure they want to make money. I don't think they're in the restaurant business to deny service because they want to pay their bills. So if they want to deny service, the people that own the Mexican restaurants can decide that for themselves. They don't need some ridiculous virtue signaling white person to tell them that, not to eat at their restaurant. They'll be like, what the fuck? Excuse me. Yes, we do want business. We do want to make money. Thank you. We'll decide if we like you or not. We'll decide. Also, why are you assuming that all illegals are from Mexico? That's a very democratic, racist thing to say. You don't get to assume that everybody that crosses the border is coming just from Mexico. There are plenty of illegal immigrants from other countries other than Mexico, and that's pretty prejudiced to say, and yet you call Republicans the Nazi racists. Sorry, now I'm trying to get a poop bag. Okay, there we go. That you call Republicans Nazi racist. Third, nobody has a problem with legal immigrants because you see, legal immigrants even want illegal immigrants out of this country because they know how freaking hard it was to get here. They know how long they've had to wait, or they had to wait, or are currently waiting. They know how much of a process it is and how much time it takes, and they're currently or have gone through it. So they don't want illegal immigrants here either, I promise you. And also, the Hispanic people widely voted for Trump. So the Hispanic community has spoken and have made it clear that the majority are pro-Trump. So please, I really get frustrated when people like to speak for others. And also, last, you don't get to tell people what holidays they can celebrate. You don't get to go, okay, all of you Trump supporters out there, you're not allowed to celebrate Cinco de Mayo or go to Mexican restaurants. Oh, I can't? Because you, Lisa, said so? Oh, did you guys hear Lisa over here? Lisa and Karen, they said that we're not allowed to celebrate Cinco de Mayo or go to a Mexican restaurant. Oh, we're not? Oh, shit. That sucks. I guess we can never do that again. No, that's not how the world works, unfortunately, for you. In fact, for me in particular, again, I've talked about this 100 times. I know it's insanely childish. I admit it's childish, and I admit I need to work on it. But the more you're like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't do that. The more I'm like, look at me over here doing it. Here I go. I'm doing it, which can work for or against me. It can be a tool because someone can go, I bet you can't do that. And I'll be like, oh, watch me. And it'll be something that like I need to do. Like, climb higher on the ladder, to be more successful. It can help if you're trying to be more successful because you're like, oh, watch me do it. And it can help in like sports and stuff. But also it's, immature if someone's like, no trespassing. And you're like, oh, watch me, which I wouldn't do because that's someone's property. And I want to, I'm not going to lie, out of curiosity. If something says do not enter, it's not because I'm trying to be a brat and disobey. It really isn't. It has nothing to do with being defiant. It has to do with curiosity. I'm very much a curiosity killed the cat. I'm always like, what's that? What's that? What's he doing? What's that about? Look at those people. What are they doing? I'm so curious. It's insane. And so mine is not because I'm like, watch me. I'm more like, well, what don't you want me to see? Like Area 51, I'm like, why don't you want me here? Now I really need to see it. Or if it's private property, I'm like, why? What's back there? Even though I had a private property sign on my property, and it's not that anything is back there at all. It's just that I don't want fucking strangers on my property because it's creepy and unsafe. And I know these things, but I am totally like, but I'm also defiant sometimes. There is that, and that's the immature part. That's the part that I'm immature about, because if someone's like, don't eat at a Mexican restaurant, don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo, even though I don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo, never have. I probably never will because it's a holiday that doesn't mean anything to me, just like Canada doesn't celebrate the 4th of July. So I really don't understand why we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, but that's cool. Actually, I don't know why I just said that. Here, I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't even know what the fuck Cinco de Mayo is about. I really genuinely don't. I know that makes me an idiot, and that's fine. But like I've said 100 times, if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I'll admit it. I'll totally admit it. I have no room to talk on Cinco de Mayo because I don't even know what the hell it is. That's why I don't celebrate it. This is exactly why I do not celebrate it, because I don't know what it is. But if some, Lisa on TikTok is going to be like, if you believe in deportation, you do not get to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to be Cinco de Mayoing it up. I am going to be so over the top Cinco de Mayo, it's going to be coming out like confetti out your asshole. I am going to be exploding glitter bomb Cinco de Mayo. And I'm going to find her house and I'm going to do it on her doorstep. That's where I'm immature, because I'm like, don't fucking tell me what to believe, what holiday I can celebrate, what words I'm allowed to, what I need to be offended by. You worry about you. It is way too time consuming to be worried about what holidays I'm celebrating and what restaurants I'm eating at, and you don't get to speak for others. Those restaurant workers want and need money, and they can determine if they want to give business to somebody or not. They don't need you to ruin their business. Ugh, so frustrating. So frustrating. And again, how racist is it to assume that every single illegal immigrant is Mexican? I mean, wow. Racist much? Lisa, I'm going to stop saying Karen because I've actually met a lot of Karens that I really like. And not that I've met Lisas I don't like. I don't really know a lot of Lisas, to be honest. I think I know one, and she's lovely. I have nothing against her. What's a name? I don't want to say a name because the people are going to be offended. So I'm just going to say Lisa and just know that that name just came out, and I have nothing against Lisas. But anyway, I'll say Courtney. Courtneys are always bitchy. I'm not bitchy. I consider myself a very nice person, but they're always on TV. They're bitchy. I mean, on TV, they always seem to be like bitchy cheerleaders and stuff. I don't mean in real life, but so don't be a Courtney. Don't let that catch on. Oh, that'd be a real bummer. I already have to deal with the Kardashian Courtney. And I'm like, first of all, I'm older than she is, so I'm the OG. She's not the OG. I'm the OG. Also, Courtney is spelled with a C. Well, okay, so to all those that spell Courtney with a K, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just wrong. Just kidding. I know because I'm 51 and there were no Courtneys around. And well, very few, because Courtney Thorne-Smith and Courtney Cox are older than me. But Courtney Cox spells it weird too. She has an extra E in there. I can't talk. Spell it however the fuck you want. My point is, you spell names however you want to spell your name. But my point is, worry about you. It's too exhausting to have to worry about a whole country. That's what the president is for, right? We need to let the president worry about our country. And if we have a problem with it, we can go through the proper channels and do the proper things. We don't need to blow up stuff and, try to have him assassinated and go around killing people and stabbing people and setting things on fire and burning flags and vandalizing stuff. Like that literally does not do a single thing to help America at all. In fact, you're putting us in debt because taxpayers are the ones that have to clean that shit up. And you don't care because you don't pay taxes. And then somehow you don't pay taxes, but you get taxes back. And somehow I do pay taxes and still have to pay taxes. So what kind of fucked up system is that? So of course you're going to be for not having to pay any taxes, and you get taxes back and free stuff. Of course you're on that because it's not free. It's free for you. Just like it cracks me up when Canada's like, we have free healthcare. No, you don't. Are you idiots? You do not have free healthcare. You have like 65% of your taxes taken out of your paycheck to pay for that, air quotes, free healthcare. That's not free at all. And you have to wait in line for 1,000,000 years to get seen by a doctor. And you have to get seen by not a doctor of your choice usually. At least that's how our healthcare was. I don't know if Canada, if you guys get to pick your any doctor you want. But I know that when we had the lovely Obamacare, you could never, it took like 8 months to get into a doctor. And otherwise you had to go to the emergency room, which treated you like cattle because they're so overwhelmed. And if you wanted to go to a counselor, forget about it. You have to hopefully not be super depressed or suicidal or anything or a serial killer because you're not going to see that counselor more than twice a year. So it's not free. And this is just getting frustrating because our country is literally being burned down and people are applauding and promoting our president being assassinated. And then I just hate that other countries act like they are just these prima donnas that never treat us like shit, that never, ever have tariffs on us, that never use us, that never talk shit about us, that never cause us any grief whatsoever. They act like they are just, Canada does it, France does it, England does it. Again, I know I have a boatload of Canadians and French that listen to me, and I love you guys. I'm equal opportunity, DEI, angry, and I'm just, I can be mad at Republicans too. There are Republicans I don't care for. I think that Trump says a lot of stupid shit. He does not speak well at all. I'll give Obama that. When Obama spoke, even if I hated everything he said, he got my attention. He's a handsome guy. He speaks very well. I even thought Bush Jr. seemed like a riot to go out with. Did I like him? Couldn't stand Bush Jr. Couldn't stand Obama. But I'm an equal opportunity. If I call it out, put it that way. It doesn't matter who you are. If it's me, I'll admit I'm wrong. I admitted I didn't know what the hell Cinco de Mayo is. I don't know. I should know, but I don't. I don't think it has anything to do with the U.S., right? Isn't that just a Mexican thing, a Hispanic thing? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. Anyway, but I get tired of Americans hating on Americans even more. I don't really care what other countries, of course I care what they think because we all need to help each other. We need to just be there for each other. We know that there are some countries ran by bad guys. I have nothing against Canadians. I have actually one of my best friends, her husband is from Canada, and I tease him all the time. All the time. Love him to death. Sweetest man. Every person I've ever met from Canada seems lovely. I've been to Canada. It was fine. Everybody was quite polite. It was fine. I have nothing against Canadians. I have something against the government, though. And just like France and just like the UK, it's the government, it's not the people. I mean, if you're an asshole and you believe that people like Carmelo Anthony should be out paraded around right now and that he had any justification in allegedly stabbing. I say allegedly like that because we all know that he did, and I'm not allowed to say it. So allegedly, he admitted it. He did say it. So, but still, allegedly stabbing it. If you believe that was okay at all. You're just a garbage person. And I say that to everybody. Republican, straight, white. I say it to everybody, not just, some group of people, not just to Democrats. I'm not saying that to a Democrat. I'm not saying that to a country. I'm saying that to the individual that believes something like that. I am not sorry for saying this. I believe it. I think you're a garbage person, no matter what country you're from or race you are. So point being, that's how I am. I really accept everybody. I have friends that are so lefty, it's not even funny. And it has gotten difficult on our relationship, but we still try to figure it out. I still try to remember, and they try to remember why we became friends in the first place. And we both genuinely feel that we're good people. I feel that she's a good person. She feels I'm a good person. We vary, we're vastly different politically. And that kind of has trickled into some other things, but we still love each other and I still love her and I don't wish harm upon anybody. I didn't wish harm upon Biden and I can't stand the man. In fact, I stuck up for him when other people would pick on him because I'm like, the dude has dementia. That's not his fault. He didn't do that to himself. He didn't give himself dementia. Plus, my mom passed away from Biden's policies, from Fauci's policies. I consider Biden and Fauci the one that killed my mom and many people. I think they're murderous people. They are murderous people. Yet that said, I still didn't wish death upon Biden. Now, when he died, or when he dies, when he died, when he dies, am I going to cry? No. Is it going to bother me? No. I mean, it'll bother me in the sense that if a human dies, that's not great. I mean, unless they're like a sociopathic serial killer or something, but which I think Biden is. But anyway, am I going to cry? Absolutely not. Am I going to think the world lost anything whatsoever? No, if I'm being honest. But I'm not going to wish death upon him. I didn't wish for him to be assassinated. And I didn't promote it. I didn't go make TikTok videos promoting it and asking for it. I stuck up for the man when he got dementia because I'm like, that's sad and not his fault. He can't help that he can't walk. He can't help that he can't speak. His health is declining. I blamed the media for that. It's their fault. I blamed the Democratic Party for that. Well, not the Democratic Party, the Biden administration for that. It's their fault. That's a fact. That's a fact. They covered it up for a fact. They said over and over and over again. Harris, Biden himself, Jean-Claude Van Damme, just kidding, Karine Jean-Claude Van Damme, Jean-Claude Pierre, whatever the fuck the press secretary, she's such an idiot, Karine, whatever, she said over and over and over and over and over and over that he is great, perfect health, pillar of health. The media over and over, CNN, MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, that walking gigantic fucking, oh, God. She incites anger, just her face. Never, ever has a face incited so much anger in me than Rachel Maddow's face. God, that thing. It should be on a punching bag and we would all win fights. Like, if her face was on like a boxing match and the opponent had her face there, I bet you they would win in a heartbeat. Anybody that's in like martial arts or boxing or whatever, they should do that. They should put Rachel Maddow's face on their opponent. Guaranteed they'll have victory. But anyway, I didn't want him dead. And that's kind of all the Democratic Party is doing right now is they like to mutilate children. Now there has been many people coming forward, doctors coming forward that were silenced by Fauci and the Biden administration, by the media, that were censored by Facebook, censored by Twitter, censored by TikTok, or not by TikTok, but yeah, by TikTok, censored by all these social media outlets and censored by the news. They kept it away, how bad vaccines were, that COVID was a made up thing, then all these things that they never told us about. That's a cover up. That's treason because you are covering up something that now was basically, I think it's like bio warfare. So, and then Fauci was genuinely trying to like kill off America, basically. So, like I've said 100 times, I think he deserves, and all the Biden party and all of the news outlets and social media outlets that allowed it, I think that they should be locked up in a cage like they locked up all those dogs and monkeys, and they should be used as test animals until they die. That's how I feel personally, because they were trying to mandate vaccinations and pump them into our children. And people had to make the choice of having a job, not being able to pay their bills, not having shelter, trying to get a job during COVID, and then, which everybody was requiring vaccinations. So it was impossible because everybody was trying to make it mandatory to be vaccinated and wear masks that have been proven now to do absolutely nothing. The vaccination, proven. It's not an opinion, It is a fact that vaccination was bogus, bullshit, and now they should all pay the consequences, which I think is, since you agree with testing on animals and you think it's safe and great and wonderful, and you love these vaccinations that you're trying to pump down children and us, then we will use you now and the entire party and everybody that was okay with it and all Democrats that were on the streets yelling and screaming and trying to have people fired, making people be fired over the fact they wouldn't get a vaccination. And this shit killed my mother. So you're all murderers too, because there are a lot of people that have died and children that have died as side effects from these things. So you guys should all be locked up in cages and used as lab rats from now for a good couple years at least. Kept in your cages, let out to go tinkle, just enough to go tinkle. Treated exactly however Fauci treated these animals is how you guys should be treated as your punishment. I don't think they need to go to prison because we don't have room in prisons, and I don't think taxpayers should have to accommodate for that. And that's the other thing. The Democratic Party has been proven for a fact to have money laundering and fraudulent spending, to have committed fraud, wasted our taxpayers' money, and that was a big cover-up. And somehow Trump and his supporters are the bad guys, and somehow Trump and his supporters that don't want people coming in and freeloading off of us because we've already been ripped to shreds by our government. We've already had our government and the Democrats freeloading off of us, stealing from us, money laundering from us. So no, we don't want illegal immigrants, because when you go to any other country, Canada, France, if you go to England, if you go to Australia, ask them if you can be a citizen. Ask them how long it takes to be a citizen there. See what they tell you. See what Canada tells you when you want to be a citizen there. You're not even allowed to fly over or be in a train if you have any type of federal charges. Canada will not allow you, its administration will not allow you to even fly over or drive through their country to get to Alaska. So you have to take a boat. You literally have to take a boat. So Canada doesn't get to talk. That needs to shut up. What we should do is what I didn't get to hear the whole thing, so I'll have to get more information, but I've brought this up before. Apparently there's a gentleman from Canada that said, hey, you know what we need to do? We need to have Canada just sell all of the oil rights to the U.S., and then Canada gets free gas from the U.S., and we make money, and then it's a win-win for Canada, and it's a win-win for us. We should work together. Can you imagine that? Working together and uniting? Can you imagine? I mean, Canada acts like they're perfect, and they've been a really annoying big brother that acts like they're super tough. And it's like that Daniel Tosh comedy. It's like it's really, really easy to act big and tough when you have America as your backup. So be quiet. We do a lot for you too. It's a win-win for both of us. Same with Mexico. We all need to be helping each other. We don't need to be destroying each other. The government fucked us over, and we need to unite over the fact that the government stole our money and has committed fraud, and we should be upset by that. And we should be upset by the murderers and rapists and sex traffickers and cartel that carry fentanyl that can kill us coming across the borders. Because if you're so on board with it, again, build a house, go down, build a house, don't put any locks on your doors. In fact, don't even put doors in your home. Don't put a fence. Don't get a gun, because remember, you're against guns. So don't get a gun. Don't get a fence. Don't get a security system. Don't lock your windows. Don't even put up a door, because you're all about open borders. You're all about letting in these people. So if you're all about it, then put your money where your mouth is. Walk the walk. Stop acting like you have this Kevlar, these people to back you up. Stop acting like you don't want protection. You do want protection, because again, if you lock your doors or if you lock your windows or have a fence, you want protection and you care about your protection. You just don't give a shit about anybody else's life. You care about your life. You don't care about anybody else's life, because it's a Martha Vineyard thing. The minute that they all came to Martha's Vineyard, they were like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Same with Chicago. And now in New York, everyone's like, oh, wait, what? Wait, wait. We just only wanted them to kill others, murder others, burglarize, I can't say that word, to rob others, to have other people's property taxes go up, to have other people's health care go up, to have other people's streets be littered with pee and shit, human pee and shit and tents and garbage. We don't want that in our neighborhood. We want open borders, and we want rapists and murderers and stuff to come in. And we want the people that are trying to get here legally and doing it the right way. We want them to be on the back burner. We don't want them to actually come here legally. No. We want to pay for everything. Okay, then again, you adopt a illegal immigrant, bring them into your home, and you pay their cell phone bill, and you pay for their health care, and you pay for their room and board, and you pay for everything. You do it. You're not going to want to do that, and you're not going to want to do it, and don't say you're going to do it and then not do it, because especially celebrities that have gigantic houses. But anybody that has a home, you should kick yourself out of your home, by the way, because people are getting kicked out. So you should give up your home and go live in a tent, because if you're that passionate about it, that you were out rioting and destroying things, then why aren't you giving your home to someone that is coming across the border? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you paying for their stuff? You just want everyone else to do it. And then when other people don't do it and they do what you say, you're going to throw a fit like a child. And this is why children are horrible now and stabbing each other and thinking it's okay, because you're telling them it's okay. You're telling them that if we don't get along, if we disagree, it's okay to stab each other. It's okay to burn each other's cars down and homes down. It's okay to key and vandalize people's cars. It's okay to throw Molotov or mocktail, whatever the fuck it's called. Mocktail's a non-alcoholic drink, but you know what I'm saying, into a building if you disagree. If you have a difference of opinion, it's okay to bully and punch and call people names. That is what is being taught right now. Again, if Trump and these tariffs with China ends up working out, every single one of you better get off your fat, fucking, lazy welfare asses, your gigantic, entitled loser asses, and get a job and stand up and thank that man and say, thank you. I am so sorry that I wanted you to be dead and that I planned and hoped for and wished for, not planned, but wished for your assassination. I'm sorry I burned this country to the ground and called you a Nazi. A Nazi. You know, the Jewish community doesn't agree with that, by the way. You don't get to speak for the Jewish and Polish community, and it's really racist and really narcissistic and really wrong to call someone a Nazi when the Jewish and Polish community totally finds that awful and disagrees, highly disagrees. But that is what Democrats do. Destroy, divide, and mooch. Not all Democrats, the OG Democrats, but this new breed, oh man, this new breed. Wow. It was probably made in the Wuhan lab, the Wuhan lab infected on us. They're probably like these zombies or something that are affected. That's what I feel like. I mean, I say that jokingly, but would not surprise me if they were like, oh, by the way, speaking of that, transgender, that's what I started to get at. So transgender, right now, there's a lot of people that are detransitioning. And they said that one of their biggest things was they started developing psychosis. Psychosis. So they were out of touch with reality. They started feeling out of touch with reality. That is one of the biggest things that you hear from people detransitioning. And we are setting these people free out on the streets and promoting it. Not only promoting it, but incentivizing it, making it look cool to a 12-year-old. This person was 12. 12. And they gave her a mastectomy. They took off her boobs at 12. And this is condoned and promoted. And you guys are all saying, yeah, cut off minor preteens' boobs. Yeah, cut off all women's boobs. Yeah. What is wrong with you? And you're calling us Nazis and gross? We don't want rapists coming in, depleting all of our funds and killing us and killing our children, and we're wrong? You're promoting assassination of our president, and we're wrong? It's not about right and wrong anymore. It's about grossly out of touch with reality. I think you're all developing psychosis. It is about living and dying right now. But if Trump pulls off these tariffs, you all better stand up and salute and pretty much be his slaves, his little bitches from now on. You should be Trump's bitches, and anytime he wants a blowjob, you should give him a blowjob, frankly. That's how I feel genuinely, because I know that sounds crass and awful. I shouldn't say that, but God, you know, I'm just sick of this. God, that's really annoying in the background. Sorry, you guys. That's lovely. That's what you want to hear in the middle of me being rude. But it's just extraordinarily frustrating when people tell me and tell people that voted for Trump how we deserve to die. If I'm saying that you deserve to get on your knees and be Trump's slave, that's still not good. It's still not okay. But saying that you want Trump dead and promoting it, that's kind of beyond. And wanting and going out and attacking and bullying and trying to have Trump supporters lose their jobs and bullying them and harming them and destroying their property. I'm sick of it. It's been since 2016. It's been 9 years. 9 years. Can you imagine 9 years of me going, poke, 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 poke? Now, do that on your chest, you guys. Do that in your temple. Do that in the middle of your eyes. Poke, poke, poke. 9 years of it. I want you to do that every single day. Don't ever stop, because you guys live, breathe, and eat Trump. I don't think you sleep. This is probably why you don't have a job. Because when you're crying out in bed at sex, instead of being like, oh God, you're like, oh Trump. Oh, Trump. I think you guys think about Trump during sex. I think you guys think about it when you take a shower, when you are, I can't say at work because a lot of people that have the Trump derangement syndrome don't work. So I'm talking about those with Trump derangement syndrome. I'm not talking about Democrat Party. I'm not talking about the entire Democrat Party. I'm talking about those with Trump derangement syndrome. You guys quite literally do nothing but sit around and whack off to Trump and then say you don't like him. And I'm like, clearly you do. Obviously you do, because that's all you think about. It's, to me, kind of crazy. To me, it seems you worship him, actually. You idolize him. Oh my God, there's a street sweeper. First, it's making noise backing up. How dare people do their jobs? Just kidding. How dare people disturb my podcast while going about their lives as working for the city and doing their job? How dare they interrupt my podcast that hardly anybody listens to? Although everybody that does, I fucking love you. You guys are paving the way. So you guys are just cool before your time. You can be like the OG people that when I become like Joe Rogan, you can be like, oh yeah, we've already been there. And I'll be like, yeah, these guys, they've been here since the beginning. And then I'll have to figure out who you are and be like, here, I'll be like Oprah, you get some money, you get some money, you get some money. Be like Oprah with that. Try to find out who my OGs are and help them out. Oh, anyways, again, it is not a Republican Democrat thing. It is a human thing right now. And as you can tell, my dog, I had to put my dog to sleep, so I'm cranky and I'm lashing out. And that's what people do. And I get it. Sometimes we do stupid shit. Sometimes we key a car and we're not a bad person. I do believe that. I think sometimes our anger and frustration and sadness, we're humans. And sometimes it gets the best of us. And sometimes we do or say really fucked up things. And I understand that if it's one time, every now and then, once in a while. Again, I don't understand it if you one time every now and then kill somebody or one time every now and then harm somebody. I'm just saying, like, I get that we all make really dumb choices sometimes. And I have said and done some really stupid shit. But when you're just out there just constantly looking for a fight and you're never looking for the good and you're never understanding that this man is wanting nothing, you're not looking at the facts. You haven't calmed down enough and breathed enough and opened your eyes enough and removed it out of your derriere to look around and see Trump's history and what people say about him when they meet him. And that he has, for a fact, look on Chat GPT. Do it right now. Look up what Obama or Biden or Clinton has done for the Black community, what he has started. Has he started any foundations, or were they under the disguise of other foundations, under the disguise of money laundering that we have now found out? But have they done anything to help the Black community, and have actual Black people said that they have done things for him? Or have they now said, wait, you still haven't done anything. We're noticing you still haven't done shit for us. And that's why we voted for you. That's why they voted for Trump, because they're realizing that Biden and Clinton, Hillary Clinton and Obama have done nothing for Black community, but Trump's done a lot. But nobody will stop and look up facts. Nobody will stop and take a moment to realize that this man clearly loves our country and is trying to save us money and trying to help us out and trying to do his best for America far more than any other president other than maybe Reagan. But it's just fight, 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 fight. Calm down, go get laid, have a drink. I mean, I don't drink and I don't necessarily promote it, but, go have mutual, all of a sudden I can't think of the word, condoning. No, both of you must condone it. I can't talk. Don't rape anybody. Just go have, some sex and a drink maybe. Get a massage. Go on a walk. Go fishing. Go dance. Go listen to some music. Go eat a cupcake. I don't know, But stop trying to attack our president over everything, and stop acting like you're on board with illegal immigrants when you're not going to get a house on the border anytime soon, and you fucking know it. And you know why. And stop telling me that we can't have Cinco de Mayo or eat a Mexican restaurant because you don't get to make those calls. Stop being entitled and narcissistic. Pull your head out and look at what's going on. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the past. Look at the evidence. Look at the facts. Look at the facts. So we're ending on a good note. And that is, again, everybody that tolerates my mood swings and my bipolar crazy nonsense, my random outbursts and my digressing. You guys are amazing. You're an amazing bunch of insomniacs, and I freaking love you. Thank you, thank you. I love you no matter your gender. I love you no matter your race. I love you no matter who you vote for or what you identify as sexually. But I am going to call everybody out on things that I don't agree with, regardless of that. That's what I do to people I respect. I talk to them. Sometimes I'm a rude bitch about it, and that's not okay. Sometimes I need to phrase things a little differently than I do. I know that. But other times I'm going to be blunt, and I'm not sorry for it at all. So to those of you that have understood that and understood the mission, and you're still along with me despite all of those things, man, you deserve a medal. You deserve a parade. I'll throw a parade for you. We'll take up a whole dang street. So thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And until next time.